Alright, let's get started with set 10283, the 2021 Space Shuttle Discovery. I overall like this set, just to let you know real quick. Alright, starting things off, instructions. So, the instructions for this set are actually top-notch, I would say. Having the little, snid bits in the start of it is actually really awesome, and I truly believe they should do that with all of the adult sets from here on out, regardless of their ideas or whatever. I love it when they put all the information they can and give you all the little snid bits about what you're actually building and stuff. Those are really, really cool, especially having those like in the actual instructions and not just at the beginning, because having all the information at the beginning of the instructions can kind of get a little overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie. So having those little like snid bits in between, like while you're building certain parts of it, like these back boosters they give you little information about, it's yeah, very cool. So 5 out of 5 for sure on the instructions. They are top notch, and I wish every instructions were like that. Alright, and now moving on, playability and functionality. So this one is kind of special because I feel it definitely is actually pretty playable for a 18 plus set. I mean, you can go through the stages of landing and such, and of course you got your stuff that I already have deployed here. You can take it off your stand and you can deploy this, so that is definitely displayable. Whoa, that didn't work for once. That's interesting. That's a first. There we go. Anyway, you take it off its stand, play with it. So it is definitely playable, and it is definitely functional. So overall, the amount of things that you can do with this is actually kind of impressive. Probably the most amount of functions of most of the different and various space shuttle sets, especially, you can even like see inside the bay and stuff here, and you could put those little micro figures in there to have it be a little more accurate if you wanted to actually have astronauts. You could take them from the International Space Station and put them in there. But yeah, playability and functionality, 5 out of 5. Again, overall, it's just got too many features. You got this, you got the back fins, you got the bay doors. Whoops, I realized took off a chunk of my satellite here, and I need to plop that back on. You got the bay door, you got this part, you got the landing gear that you can play with and pop out. Yeah, a lot of features. And then, of course, on top of that, I would technically count all the different ways that you can, display it, part of its function. So, but we'll get into that more in here in a bit. So, let's move on to the cost and value. I think it's worth it. Definitely worth it. Considering you get the satellite. Oh boy. Alright. Yeah, cost and value, just considering all the things you get and then the experience you get from building it and stuff, and so the information, just all of those things put together definitely make it worth what you pay. If it was just this, honestly speaking, if it was just the shuttle, I would still think it's pretty worth it, but if it was just the shuttle, it would be a little bit less. It would not be a 5 out of 5, that's for sure. But because it has the satellite, the displays, the plaques, the features, all that, definitely makes it worth what you pay. Let me just quickly give you a little bit of a comparison, because I have it. This is the Technic Space Shuttle 8480. Very close in size. These are like exactly the same length, I think. Like if you were to stack them up from end to end, they basically are exactly the same length. And this one is basically just a little bit taller than the the newer one. But yeah, it's about just as much actually. Back when you first bought this, adjusted for inflation and stuff, the 8480 Technic one is actually about as much as this one cost, and it didn't come with a satellite that you can do that much with. It just came with a bunch of you know, stuck together stuff. So but it does have just as much functionality and stuff, so that one, look forward to a review for that, by the way, coming up. Anyway, just showing you that so that you kind of give a better idea of the actual cost and value and stuff, and sort of the size of this and what it's actually giving you, because yeah, obviously this one also has a bunch of holes, the Technic one, so yeah, and this one's pretty solid. So $200, 5 out of 5 for cost and value. So moving on to building experience. So because of the instructions, I gotta give it a little bit more props for that, but I will say this doesn't get a full 5 out of 5 for me on building experience just because of the stickers. I just cannot get over the, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24 silver shiny stickers that you gotta put all over this. Like, I am totally fine with the NASA one and the Discovery one. Those feel necessary and those are easy to put on. These ones though, I can't give the building experience a 5 out of 5 just because of these silver stickers. So I want to make this a rare thing to do, the rating I'm about to give, because I don't want there to be a 0.5 very often, just because that sort of negates the reason for doing an out of 5 rating system in the first place. So I do want to stipulate that I'm only doing that because of the stickers, okay? The stickers are the reason that this doesn't get a 5, and I have to knock it down. Everything else about this building experience was amazing, and I loved it. But just these silver shiny stickers, every other sticker is fine. These silver ones, I just can't get over how painstaking they were. So definitely puts down the building experience a little bit, but not a ton. So 4.5 out of 5 for building experience. And moving on, representativeness. Does this represent the Shuttle Discovery? Well, I think just from you looking at it, yes it does. Not only can you display it in a number of different ways, I'm actually gonna go ahead and show you the other way you can display it here that they recommend before I get to the bonus features, because that's actually part of this display, I think, so we'll get to it when we get to it. But yeah, other way you can display it here, for representativeness, of course, is with the satellite in the actual bay here, and all you gotta do is take those little pins out, put this little bad boy in here, and then you can technically take off these little, this little chunk right here in the satellite, but it also works just by putting it on those little studs there, which is, I think, a lot easier than taking off that thing and shoving it inside the satellite. But yeah, regardless, that's what you do for that, and then you can plop your little pins in here, and bada bing, bada boom. Second display. And you can also take off the you know, satellites, which they recommend you do, and put these little things on there, but I think it looks better with them just on there, so I'm gonna do that. And then to store these, actually, they have a nice little, they don't show you this, but I like to put them up on this little stand for the satellite when I'm not using it. It's a good place to store them. And then, yeah. Alright, so yeah, representativeness. The fact that you can display it in multiple different ways, and that it just looks so much like, this is definitely the best shuttle they've made, for sure, like the most accurate looking. So just that alone, 5 out of 5. And then the fact that you can do all of the other stuff with it just accentuates that 5 out of 5. Really nails it down. On to the extra and bonus features. So I actually genuinely think to consider the displaying it inside the bay as an extra / bonus feature, just because they don't really recommend you do that, nor do they show that you can do that in the instructions. So definitely a bonus feature, but the fact that it does fit in there at all is actually kind of cool, so let's take that off. I guess technically you could put these on if you want, but I'm gonna leave them off. Take that out, and then plop this bad boy in. I guess technically you can put it either way, but it tends to fit better with it, the big part in the back. And then you can actually plop the arm down and close it in there. So yeah, technically the correct way though to display it, or the correct way for it to be in there would be this way, but it just doesn't fit as well most of the time. Oh, there we go, it fit pretty well that time. Whatever. Anyway, if you put the arms on, it doesn't fit as well. So yeah, all the extra pieces and stuff that you need to just take off in order to put it there is kind of interesting though. Yeah, and it's great that they have a little place to actually put these little pins when you're not, these little clips when you're not using them, because those do get lost very easily. So yeah, good on them for giving you a little place to put those. All right, anyway, that's 5 out of 5. On to displayability and looks, which kind of go right in from representativeness. Obviously you can display it in every way that I've just shown, and because you can do that so many different ways and just, you know, have all those different options, I gotta say, that is awesome. Though, there's one thing I want to point out here, because I'll show a picture here of all the shuttles, but this is the only shuttle. Let me actually go ahead and just put these satellite pieces back on here so I don't lose them. This is the only shuttle that LEGO has made, besides some of the other like smaller, the only sort of UCS style shuttle. All right, let me clarify, because they have made ones that don't. But this is one of the few big shuttles that does not allow you to display it vertically. So as you can see, the Technic one, you can clearly do that with. It stays pretty easily there. You can just pop it down, you know, it's gonna stay that way. It's meant to be put that way for sure. They have those little things on the bottom, but this one, the new one, you definitely cannot display it that way, and it was not meant to be displayed that way. So good that they give you a stand, but I do have to knock it a little bit just because you can't, you know? I mean, it's a rocket, like, you gotta take off, you know? Anyway, that's just me, I think. Just a small nitpick, not really super important, just something I thought I'd point out, because not a lot of people did point that out to me in some of the other reviews I've seen. So overall, displayability and looks, 5 out of 5. Even with not being able to display it vertically on its own. Let me plop this back on here. Let's get into my personal opinions here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this back and display it how I want to while I'm doing that, while I'm talking about it. So overall, this set, amazing. All right, this is the pinnacle of what I think LEGO should do with their sets in terms of instructions, building experience, like displayability, just all of the above. Just, this is the pinnacle of LEGO. Okay? Alright, with that said though, it still has its faults, and, you know, with anything, there is still room for improvement. So, I will say, with it being the pinnacle, it's not the best they could possibly do, still. The best that they could possibly do would be, you know, obviously 5 out of 5 on all of my stuff, but that's gonna be a rare set indeed, I guarantee it. Especially because this is all very biased, and, you know, that's what reviews are. So, I think this is one of the best LEGO sets that LEGO has ever released, for sure. Just in terms of all of the above, so I wish they would make a lot more like this, and I am looking forward to any sort of science-related things that they come out with in the future, especially that are UCS style. And yeah, I look forward to reviewing more stuff like this. And I hope you guys look forward to seeing all my other reviews on some more space shuttles coming up here. I plan to do it on at least the Technic and definitely the other UCS style one that they've made. And we'll see if I end up doing more specific reviews, but I also want to do a sort of more encompassing review of all of them as well. So look forward to that. And if you guys liked this set, let me know in the comments below. If you didn't like it, also let me know. I'd love to actually know why you didn't like it, because I loved it, so it would be nice to hear some different opinions. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I am sure you know how the buttons work down there by now, so click them as you please. And yeah, Mr. HiYodaPanda,